Hello, everyone. Welcome to our series of interviews about karate as a lifestyle. Today, we're going to talk about karate as an instrument of self-discipline for the children. With a mom of two promising children, which attend karate classes. They're actually going for karate classes at the Wesley Hall Community Center in Leicester. So welcome to Karatetricks interviews. I'm your host, Abdul Sakur. But before starting the interview, let me introduce you to GKR Karate. GKR stands for Go-Kun Ryo, which is a traditional Japanese style of karate, founded by Chief Instructor Kencho Robert Sullivan in Adelaide, South Australia. With a solid 20 years of martial arts background in Goju-Kai, Budokan, and Kenshin-kan, also known as Shotokan, Kencho has started Go-Kun Ryo in 1984, an organization that today spans the 4 continents, and it has 600 clubs in the UK alone, with over 1,000 classes and a membership base of over 15,000 students across England, led by instructors fully accredited with the IGKF, which is the International Go-Kun Ryo Federation. Today, I'm very glad to welcome to the show Sister Rasheeda from the city of Leicester, and she has come to us to talk about educating children during a lockdown, lessons learned, her decision to choose karate versus other sports, and tips and best practices for parents and educators. Welcome to the show, Rasheeda.
Thank you for having me. Hi, Abdul.
Hi. It's great to have you here. So let's introduce you to our audience. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So my name is Rasheeda. I am a mum of 2, aged 9 and 6. I'm self-employed. I own an online business where I sell gifts and I make them by my hands. I sell them online. So I've been looking for different activities for my children over the years. And as they've grown up, some things have been more interesting to them and other things have sort of become boring to them. So we were looking for different activities, and I came across karate and I was really pleased with that, and we decided to enroll them. So
Yeah, that's great. I mean, karate is a great sport, and it also helps with self-confidence, also with building your character. But before going a little bit into that, I would like maybe to talk to our audience about what was the journey. How did you get into like a little bit before? So tell us, as a parent, how was being a parent during a lockdown? Because it was very challenging, for many parents with the children at home. So how did you manage having the children at home?
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of parents can relate to the fact that, it was a very difficult time in terms of keeping the children engaged. Most of us turn to technology and, arts and crafts or things within the house. So me personally, my children, they're very active. They like to, they're boys, they like to be engaged and stimulated. So a lot of what we did was like computer-based, like learning online. In addition to that, they had lots of games. And although I'm not very proud of it, they did fall into sort of, playing games more frequently than I would have liked. So coming out from lockdown, I was desperate to find things that would sort of wean them off the computer. And I don't think that being on the computer for a timed amount of time, I don't think that the computer is entirely bad, but when it becomes too much, I do feel like it can have a negative effect on the children. So that was really what happened during lockdown. We did try and do activities together, like arts and craft. But like I say, as they've grown older, some of those activities aren't as stimulating for them as other activities would have been, like karate or more advanced type of activities.
Yeah, definitely. And by the way, how old are they?
My children are 9 and 6.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes it's also about the age range. Some children, when they are younger, we don't mind that they, stay using, absorbing online content.
Yeah,
But as you said, we need to have a balance.
yeah,
So yeah, definitely, I'm with you in that uh, that they should have, joining sports or an activity which stimulates their mind, and takes them to a different atmosphere besides just being in the house. So tell me,
yeah.
when did they join GKR Karate?
They joined just as they were starting school, which would have been about 2 weeks ago, or sorry, 3 weeks ago. So that was right at the end of August, beginning of September, I believe. That was when they had their first lesson. I happened to be in the city centre towards the end of the holiday, and I saw there was a stand where karate was being promoted by JKR. Sorry, GK, I was getting mixed up.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's GKR Goken Rio
yeah,
Karate. Yeah.
yes, JKR. And yeah, and I decided because we had actually during the holiday period we had watched the movie Karate Kid.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was yeah,
That's
that
one of
was
my
one of
favorite ones.
yeah, that was one of the sort of family activities we did. We have like movie night every Friday, so I was looking for a movie, and I said, "Oh, this one would be good." And ever since we watched that, the kids were they were just amazed and very eager to practice what they saw. Obviously, what they see in the movies is a little bit different, but I liked that it was a family movie that I enjoyed and they also enjoyed, and we were able to sort of derive lessons from it because a lot of what we saw in the movie was teaching discipline. They got to see that it's not just about fighting, but also your mindset as well, and you have to be able to be strong and persevere. And things might not always work out, you might not always win, but as long as you try your hardest, that's the most important. So when I saw how passionate they were about the movie and how engaged they were, it was when I went to the city centre and I saw it being advertised. I thought, oh, this would be a nice thing to sort of draw them in because they've already watched a movie where it was being done and it was a child, and then in real life they can practice it and they can learn the skills
Yeah. I
as well
mean,
as
that's one of the points also that I would highlight is that the discipline that is taught in the karate classes, yeah, that's really, really great. Nowadays, discipline, concentration, awareness are, ingredients, to raise your children, and also to that will stay with them basically when they grow up, in their adult life. So yeah, I definitely agree with you in this. Do you think that you could have enrolled them a little bit earlier, maybe during a lockdown, when, for example, they could have done maybe online classes, or do you think this is the right time?
me personally, for myself, I think it was the right time because I had tried to enroll them before when they were much younger. We went for a trial lesson elsewhere, but they weren't very engaged, and after the first lesson they didn't really want to go back. Also, in terms of finance at that time, it wasn't something that I could consistently afford. It would have been a stretch, and because they weren't so keen, and it wasn't also something that was easy for me to fork out for, I decided that maybe to just leave it. So this time I think it was a perfect time because I was in a better financial situation, and also the boys were more willing, and it seemed like something they wanted to do. In terms of the online element, um, I think if they had practiced in person before and then we went into lockdown and then the lessons became online, that would have been something I would have gone for. But I don't think I would have signed them up immediately online without them having practiced it in person. I think it would have been a bit difficult to, maintain their focus and for them to be enthusiastic about it. So
Okay, yeah, definitely. And what are the names of your children?
my oldest son is 9 and his name is Abdullah. And then my second son is Abdul Samad and he is 6 years old.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I've seen them in class. I remember them. They are very, very engaged, and I foresee that they are going to get very, very far in karate. What expectations do you have, like goals for your children from karate? Do you see them as black belts in the future? Do you see that karate could help them in their adult life to feel more confident? For the future?
Yes, definitely. When I met you in the city centre, I'm not sure if you remember, but somebody did ask me what were my intentions, and I said that my son was being bullied at school, and I just wanted him to feel like he could defend himself. Mm-hmm. That was one branch, but then when we actually did go to the lessons, I saw how disciplined. If you come, that you have to come on time. You have to be in your uniform, you have to stand in a line, you have to focus on what the instructor is telling you to do. When I saw that, I was so happy and quite impressed that children are being taught these skills in this way. And discipline is something that is so important. Even as an adult, if you have discipline, you will go very far in life. So seeing that they could practice that, by being on time and knowing on a Saturday morning they've got to wake up, and it's not just to sit in front of the TV and watch cartoons, but they have somewhere to be. That was something that, although I didn't intend for them to have, I'm quite happy that they're learning that. So discipline. Going back to the original question, which was what did I intend for them to have? Just the focus in their mind and the physical, them being able to physically defend themselves if needed, and teamwork, a variety of activities, meeting new friends, being in a new environment. These are some of the things that I wanted them to gain. Can I just have a moment, please, Abdul?
Yeah, sure. And so you're actually there attending the Spin Hills class, right, on Saturdays?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so are there any plans for you to maybe go to other classes, take them to a different venue, perhaps?
So what we've agreed on right now is just one session a week, because it is a full hour. This is the longest. My kids do go to swimming, they have Arabic classes, and they have after school activities. Karate is actually one of the longest activities in terms of duration. So most of the other activities are just half an hour or 45 minutes at a go. But with karate, it's one full hour. So I feel like that's enough right now for them. In future, maybe as the year goes by, if they do want to add another class to it, they know they have that option.
Oh yeah, definitely. The good thing about GKR is that they have venues all across Leicestershire, and it's basically every day a week. At the moment, there is some plans also to open new classes in different venues. We're considering that. So yeah, I mean, that will be an option as well for the kids. And I think they will enjoy it as well. As you said, make new friends, experiencing a different atmosphere. And we during the holiday times as well, when the children are at home, they have the opportunity, to be a little bit outside the house, which is always positive.
Yes, definitely. I think just to mention, my youngest son, who is 6 years old, last week he did express to us that he wasn't feeling very up for it anymore, and we sat down and we spoke to him and we said, why didn't he want to go? And he explained the reasons to us, and we said, okay, well, if you don't want to go for some weeks, that's fine, and hopefully giving him that option might make him change his mind. But if I think that if he really doesn't want to continue, that's also a good thing, because at least he's tried it and he knows what it's like. And in future, if he feels a bit more confident or up for it, we can continue the lessons. But having said that, my oldest son, because last week he attended the class on his own without his brother, I saw that he was a bit more engaged than he was when his brother was there. So it was nice for him to have that time alone, and to be more focused rather than him being with his brother and maybe them, I don't know, working together or talking. So it was nice for him to have that independent time.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And yeah, one of the things as well that we ask to parents, when you sign them up, is that was it the parents' initiative or was the children's initiative that want to join karate? And either one or the other case, we always respect the decision, and we understand that sometimes it's a bit of time. They need time for themselves to reflect, and when it comes from themselves, it's at least you know that they needed their time. They took their time to reflect, and finally they choose the best path. Either is karate or any other sports. Yeah, definitely. So we're just to wrap it up, finalizing the interview now. I just would like to ask you, is there any special recommendation or tip that you would like to give to parents and educators?
With regards to our experience?
And with regards with the karate classes in general as well?
Yeah, so with regards to our experience to the karate, I would say definitely talk to the children. Ask them if they want to go first, and if they are showing positive signs of wanting to go, definitely enroll them. I think with younger children, sometimes they don't know what to expect. They might have an image of karate in their head which is totally different from what it actually is. So the trial session I think was very helpful. And like I said, when I had already paid for both children to enroll, but I think that the timing maybe was a little bit difficult for my youngest to absorb. So he decided that he didn't want to spend a Saturday morning at 10:30 doing karate. So we gave him the option, and we didn't want him to feel like it was forced, because I feel like if the children see it as a forced activity, they won't enjoy it and they won't get the most out of it. So although we have paid for him, we thought it was important to give him that leeway, and hopefully maybe in the next 2 weeks he might change his mind, and if not, that's also fine. He's got his whole life to practice whatever activities he decides to go with.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think that the point that you've highlighted as well, it's very important for parents that we should just give them a little bit of space for the children, and I think you did it very, very well. Gave it the time and talked with them, and they even tried a trial class. So that's why we always encourage as well for children to come to a class and see how it goes. Yeah. So when was your first class? Was it 3 weeks ago?
I believe it was 3 weeks ago, because we've had 3 sessions now. So we had the first one, which was a trial, and then we had the second one, and then we've had the third one, which was last week.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And is your oldest son enjoying the classes with the children, and also is enjoying the techniques, the skills, and all the practice as well?
Yes, he's really, really enjoying it, and I'm just so thrilled and happy and very grateful as well that I came across because I knew that it was something that I would like him to do, but I didn't know where to go. I didn't know which ones would be local, which ones would be affordable. It was almost like I was waiting for somebody to sell me the option. And when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is the perfect option for us, and something I'd like to look into. Something that I would like to look into
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. I know that you have a very busy schedule with the children and also with your
Yeah.
business as well. So thank you very much, Rasheeda, for your time. And yeah, I mean, I just hope and I see the progress of Abdullah as well, and all the children. And I can see that he has a bright future ahead of him. He's feeling very confident during classes, and it will be very good for him to continue. And in the future, also, he can come to other classes to meet other children and develop his skills even more.
Yes, hopefully that would be really good. Thank you very much, April.
No problem. Thank you as well, Rasheeda, and all the best for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So thank you everyone for listening. We'd love to know what you thought about this interview. You can write to us or leave us an audio message on Instagram. My profile is @Karatetricks. And don't forget to say your name and where you're from. GKR is one of the largest martial arts organizations in the UK. Karate is based on self-defense and makes you feel more confident and assured, improves self-discipline, develops inner calm, increases your concentration levels, and builds your character with principles of respect, positive attitude, and a strong mind, body, and soul. Book a trial class today by filling out the form on my Instagram page. My profile is @Karatetricks. Thank you once more and see you next time.